We can all attest to the power of a gift. No matter what it is, a gift is a beautiful way to commemorate or celebrate, whether it's an occasion or the recipient themselves. We invited a couple of watch connoisseur friends to share their experiences with giving and receiving incredible watches, and to let us have a look at their own. Spoiler alert. Turns out, a fine timepiece is an incredible and incredibly meaningful gift for any enthusiast. We teamed up with eBay to make this video. If you're fortunate enough to be gifting a luxury watch, eBay's Authenticity Guarantee program makes that process super easy and stress-free. When you buy a watch online, there's a risk the seller may not be legit. eBay inspects luxury watches sold on its platform to eliminate the possibility of a fake watch ending up on your wrist or on a lucky giftee's wrist. So, buying a watch is pretty straightforward. Choosing the right gift, that's on you. But maybe Mark and Henry and some of our suggestions can help give you a little inspiration.
My name is Mark Cho, and I've been obsessed with watches since I was probably about 7 years old. This is my Rolex Submariner, reference 16800, made in the mid-1980s. Those first 10-15 years when I was looking at watches all the time, the Submariner was definitely at the top of the list. It is a 40mm watch made of 316L stainless steel. It has a unidirectional bezel that can track elapsed time for when you're diving or making a steak. I actually purchased this watch about 10 years ago as a gift to myself when I graduated from investment banking. That was in good condition, came with box and papers, found this one with a great price. I remember this one interview with the menswear designer Aaron Levine, where he talks about his sub and the fact that it doesn't really need to be babied. It's not a watch that requires him to walk or act a different way. He even talks about how if he's in a dark alley somewhere, he can put this watch in a sock and hit someone over the head with it, which I think is really a testament to its durability. And of course, its original design is to go 1,000 feet underwater. And so for someone who may not be used to having a nice watch, I think this is a great option because if it does get scratched, it just looks better and better, and it builds character. I think Rolexes are a great option for anyone who wants to commemorate any sort of occasion. It's one I think that would be appropriate for someone who is retiring or who is graduating from that first Wall Street job. When I picked this up, it was definitely a lot cheaper to buy than it is now. Gone up probably 2 to 3x. I don't think you can always assume that a watch will appreciate in value, but if there's a brand that you have a high level of confidence is going to do so, probably going to be a Rolex. There's always demand for it, and I think particularly for stainless steel sports models, I think it's the rare watch that is able to steal wrist time away from the Rolex sub.
Hi, my name is Henry Lee. I am the Managing Director of Watchmaking Project. We service and restore timepieces, and today we're going to talk about this Eagle-Ochotra Ultra Thin. I think it's a perfect gift for someone who is passionate about watches because it brings them to that next level, lets them take the next step. What's beautiful about this particular watch is the intricacies of how thin it is and how complicated it is as well. It wears like you're wearing nothing on your wrist, but it looks just elegant and timeless. This is a platinum case and the leather strap. Also has a see-through case back, which you can see the intricacies of the movement. The movement is essentially the engine of the watch. Now, the things I like on this watch is the applied numerals, the way the hands look when the sun is shining on the dial, the see-through case back. I can see the balance ticking and moving. I love the blued screws and the way the movement shines. Blue screws, it's a heat treatment to make the screws harder. It's a very elegant, simple, timeless piece. This watch is what I consider a legacy piece. The movement will outlive all of us if it's serviced and maintained properly. But this can go on for generations. I was wearing this watch when my son came into this world. So essentially, this is, when he hits of age, this is his birth watch. I feel very passionate about this watch. It has a lot of meaning and value for me and then for my family as well. So I intend to pass this on to my son. And hopefully he passes his watch to his son. So this watch would be really good for someone who is a little bit more into watches, kind of like a watch nerd, so to speak, because they'll appreciate the finer things and all the intricacies that go into this movement. It'll make a great wedding gift, anniversary gift. It's one of these watches that won't cost as much as the higher tier brands, but at that price point, you get that same value for your buck.
JLC and Rolex are both outstanding examples of luxury gifts. But here are a couple more recommendations from Gear Patrol to round out your shopping list. First up, a classic and one of the greatest watches of all time, the Cartier Tank. The design dates back to the early 20th century, and its name alludes to the sharp-edged tanks deployed during World War I. Cartier tanks start at just under $2,500 and vary widely in terms of price, size, and movement. A classic dress watch for someone who wants to stand out from the crowd. Another fantastic option is the 39mm IWC Pilots Spitfire, one of the most iconic timepiece lines in the world of horology, and is characterized by its impeccable legibility and dedication to accuracy in extreme conditions. The current Spitfire model features a robust new in-house automatic caliber inside its anti-magnetic soft iron inner case. This IWC is an especially perfect choice for aviation enthusiasts. It's hard to go wrong with a luxury watch, especially as a gift, but it's easy to buy a luxury watch thanks to eBay's authenticity guarantee. All watches costing over $2,000 are eligible, and honestly, that doesn't really narrow it down that much. So, good luck, thanks for watching, and happy gifting.